So my mobility project includes making maple syrup. Making maple syrup involves walking all over the place with tools of various kinds and buckets. First of all, you have to find yourself a maple tree. Once you found a maple tree, you drill a hole in it, and the hole, these days you use an electric drill, and you drill the hole about an inch, inch and a half into the tree. It's a particular size, and once the hole is finished, um, the sap can start dripping out, but you have to put a spigot or a spile into the tree, and you'll see you take once the tree is the hole is there and it's cleared out, you take, in this case, an aluminum spile, and you tap it into the tree, and you tap it in solid so that it doesn't fall down on the ground, so it stays there for the weeks while the sap runs out. So if you're lucky, if the tree is good and the weather is just right, you hang a bucket to catch the sap because you don't want it running on the ground. And once the bucket is on there, you have to put a lid on it to keep things like sticks and leaves and squirrels and that sort of stuff from going into the bucket. And like I said, on a good day, at about this stage, you'll see the steady drip, drip, drip of the maple sap running into the bucket. It's awesome. Of course, the job's not finished. Once that bucket has filled up, you have to come back and collect it and take it to where you can boil the water out of it because it's mostly water. So you walk, 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 walk again, depending on how close your fire is. You have to walk down to the fire, and on the fire there'll be some pans, and the pans are going to be full of the sap from the tree. You keep pouring it in all day long. This goes on for weeks. You take the sap and you pour it into the pan. And once it's in there, it boils and you'll see the steam rising up, and the steam is the water being removed from the sap. And you keep this going for hours and hours and hours. In this case, it takes me about 5 hours per pan. So you check the fire, make sure it's good. You put the sap into the pan, and then you boil it. Now here we are near the end of the boil, so the sap is starting to get thicker now, and you can see the bubbles are starting to cover the whole top. Pretty soon the bubbles will rise up. See them rising up around the pan? That's because the syrup is thick enough that they're not bursting. So they're rising up, and this says it's time to pour. So you have to take it off the fire. You have to go over to a place that you've set up, and you have to filter, multi-filter the sap because it may have things in it, pieces of carbon and whatnot. So in this case, there's 3 or 4 filters, different kinds of filters, and all that sap runs into a bucket. And it's very satisfying. At this stage, that is maple syrup finished, and you pour it into individual jars, and you keep it, and you give it away, and you use it. Awesome enterprise.